Can you imagine waking up one day and noticing that technology has advanced so fast that no one truly understands how it works all along? You have devices around you as always, systems are running in the background, and artificial intelligence is making decisions on your behalf. But the truth is, no one, not even the people who created these systems, fully understands them anymore. Sounds far-fetched, right? Maybe, but in some ways, we're already pretty much there. As you know, technology has always been about solving problems, making life easier, and pushing boundaries. From the first tools our ancestors used to the powerful supercomputers we have today, human progress has been driven by our ability to invent. But now, for the first time, we are facing an interesting dilemma. That is, are we inventing technology faster than we can understand it? As new breakthroughs happen at an unprecedented speed, there is a growing concern that our ability to fully grasp, regulate, and manage these advancements is slipping away. Think about how far technology has come in just the last 100 years. We went from the first powered flight to landing on the moon in less than 7 decades. The internet, which started as a small research project, now connects billions of people worldwide. Smartphones, which barely existed 20 years ago, have become an essential part of everyday life. Not to mention, most smartphones and other electronic device companies are coming up with a lot of better and more advanced models every year. And in the case of smartphones, people are forcing themselves to buy new and latest smartphones just after a year or so, only to keep up with latest technology. And in most cases, they don't even fully understand how their old smartphone truly worked, or what features it had. And not to mention, now that artificial intelligence has begun building its foundations, things are advancing at an even faster pace. But as this process is speeding up, it's becoming harder to keep up with it. Many of the systems we rely on today are so complex that no single person or even group of people fully understands how it works. One of the clearest examples of this is once again artificial intelligence. AI is already being used to write code, compose music, diagnose diseases, and even make decisions in financial markets. While AI is designed by humans, it can evolve in ways that its creators never predicted. Deep learning algorithms work by identifying patterns in vast amounts of data, but even the programmers behind them don't always know exactly how these systems arrive at their conclusions. Can you imagine a self-driving car making a life-or-death decision in a split second? And the engineers who built the AI behind it might not fully understand why it made a specific choice. The same applies to medical AI, which can diagnose illnesses more accurately than human doctors in some cases. Yet, the reasoning behind its decisions isn't always clear. This creates a challenge. How do we trust a system whose working way we don't even understand? By the way, if you think understanding AI is too advanced for normal people, then let me give you a more simple example. More than 80% of people nowadays who buy smartphones because of their latest features and hardware only know them by name. They don't understand how powerful they can be if used in the right way. Some also check the benchmark score before buying one, but once again, they don't understand on what basis the platform has given them that score. They just get impressed after seeing that the device they are going to buy or own has such a high score. In the past, if a steam engine broke down, an engineer could open it up, examine the parts, and fix it. But today, when a modern software system fails, it may take weeks to figure out what even went wrong if we ever find it out at all. A great example of this is the 2008 financial crisis. Many of the decisions that led to the crisis were made by complex financial algorithms that very few people actually understood. The same issue exists in cybersecurity. A single vulnerability in a massive network can go unnoticed for years, only to be exploited later in ways that nobody predicted. These super-fast advancements not only making it harder for us to understand technology, but it's also changing society in ways we're not always prepared for. Take social media, for example. It was invented to connect people at first, but it has also contributed to political polarization, mental health issues, and a lot of misinformation. Not to mention that people have become so addicted to it that some countries have even banned teenagers from using social media. Automation was meant to make work easier, but it's also replacing millions of jobs, leaving people without a clear future. Like, what will people even do when AI and machines are doing everything from trivial chores to the most advanced and complex projects? How would money and economic systems even work in that kind of environment? Nevertheless, the most important thing is that we are just trying to create and become further advanced without thinking about what impact it could create or how can we deal with it. The knowledge gap between those who understand technology and those who don't are also widening. In the past, most people could understand how a car engine worked with some basic knowledge. But today, most people don't know how the devices they rely on every day actually function. This creates a dividing line, where a small group of highly skilled individuals control technology, while the majority remain dependent on it without understanding how it works. Despite these problems, it's not all doom and gloom. Humans have always adapted to new technologies. When the printing press was invented, people feared it would lead to information overload and chaos. When the telephone became popular, some thought it would destroy face-to-face communication. But in each case, people found ways to adjust and integrate these technologies into their everyday lives. The real challenge today is whether we can adapt fast enough. The key point is not to slow down technological advancement, but rather to improve the way we understand it. Ultimately, technology is just a tool at the end of the day. It's neither good nor bad on its own. It all depends on how we use it. But if we continue to innovate at breakneck speed without taking the time to fully understand what we're creating, we are risking losing control over the very systems meant to improve our lives. So, in the end, the answer to our question, are we inventing technology faster than we can understand it? Seems to be yes. But that doesn't mean we're doomed. It just means we have a responsibility to be aware, to question, and to ensure that as we move forward, we don't leave understanding behind and just rely on technology blindly. Because in the end, the true power of technology isn't in how fast we can create it. It's in how well we can make sense of it.